This is the Nokia N95, the company's flagship phone from 2007. Released over 12 years ago, this thing was packed to the brim with features and Nokia was trying to push it hard. Well, that was something. It's funny how over the last several years we've been approaching and now surpassing the $1,000 price point for flagships, to the dismay of many. But when this thing was released back in 2007, it cost a whopping $730, which, adjusting for inflation, is around $900 in today's money. Can you imagine spending $900 on a cell phone back in 2007? If you remember back, 2007 is also the same year the original iPhone came out, although Nokia did beat Apple out the door by a few months. The original iPhone retailed for $499, which, adjusting for inflation, costs around $620 in today's money. And while the two phones did come out the same year, they couldn't be any more different. Apple's iPhone really focused on the large capacitive touchscreen, the software with a brand new iOS, and the design, while Nokia ended up going the route of a more traditional design, trying to pack in as many high-end features as they possibly could fit in here. So what did all that money get you? Well, let's jump into the specs. So this thing runs Symbian, which is a long discontinued operating system. There is a dual CPU. The display is 2.6 inches and 240 by 320 in resolution. There is 128 megabytes of RAM, 147 megabytes of internal flash storage, which you can expand with a micro SD card, a built-in GPS, and the biggest feature of all is the rear-facing camera, which is 5 megapixels and has the ability to autofocus. This thing can shoot videos at 640 by 480, up to 30 frames per second. There's even a front-facing camera, which could shoot video and take pictures. Now, one of the biggest features of this phone was also the fact that you could just plug it directly into a TV and view your videos and photos. I remember when Nokia was advertising this thing at the time, they said that it could take DVD-like quality video. Obviously, we know who won the battle for the future of phone technology between Apple and Nokia. But let's take a look at the specs of the original iPhone and compare. So it had a 3.5-inch capacitive touchscreen. It had larger internal flash storage at either 4, 8, or 16 gigabytes, but no micro SD card slot. There was no GPS. It had a single rear-facing camera, which was 2 megapixels, fixed focus, and could only take pictures, no video, and no front-facing camera. Apple obviously did have several things going for it. It was a whole new type of phone. It was touchscreen, and there was iOS. Back to the N95. First, looking at the build. It's a pretty compact phone with a dual slider mechanism. Even being 12 years old and used, it still feels sturdy and satisfying to slide up and down. We've got the power button on top, headphone jack on the left, volume rocker and camera buttons on the right, charging port and mini USB on the bottom, and all 4 of our face buttons. So one of the first things that I wanted to check out was the camera. And the camera application is actually much more robust than I was expecting. You can go ahead and change from auto to night mode, the white balance, and even the tone of a scene. If you close the shutter on the back of the phone, it'll automatically activate the front-facing camera. I'll go ahead and post some selfies from the front-facing camera as well as some video samples from the main camera on the rear in both well-lit and low-light scenarios. You guys can go ahead and leave a comment below and tell me what you think about the video quality. Using the Symbian operating system took a little getting used to, but it wasn't too different from most other phones from this time period. You have your typical tile layout and can get around pretty easily.
The N95 was a phone that could also take advantage of the N-Gage game service, allowing you to play demos or even download full games directly onto the phone. Let's see what we've got here. Asphalt 3 street rules. Let's give it a try. All right, we got to hold it horizontally. Let's try game. See if it loads. All right, we want sound and instant play. 8 and 2 to turn, 5 to use a nitro boost. So not the best controls here with the keypad, but we'll make do. Now graphically, it actually looks not bad. Pretty impressed. Remember, this is a 2007 mobile game. Oh, I'm struggling. Yeah, this could be fun. Not doing too well. All right, I think that's enough of this. Let's go ahead and exit.
I did try using the GPS, but I couldn't get a good signal and it didn't work. We'll chalk it up to it being 12 years old. Nokia Lifeblog was an application where you could create a sort of online diary with all of your pictures and videos and share them with your friends. They were really trying to push the social aspect of all the videos and pictures you were going to be taking with this thing. That's pretty much the N95 in a nutshell. If you wanted a super high-end phone with the best camera available and the ability to shoot amazing quality video for the time, this was the phone for you, if you were willing to pay for it. I remember being amazed by the camera technology at the time, but the iPhone just blew me away. It was completely new and different, and I knew I needed one. I didn't buy either phone in 2007, but I did save up and buy an iPhone 3G in 2008. That's it for me this time. As always, bite that subscribe button, and if you want to see some other cool older tech, let me know in the comments below.